All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Welcome. Welcome to this tips and tricks for today. This is our 25th edition. 25th edition. And we are continuing on the series on scientist virtues. Scientist virtues. Today we are looking at curiosity. Curiosity. All right. So welcome from wherever you are joining from. My name is Bright Nwaru, and I am the host of this editions at Research Tips and Tricks. Okay. Curiosity, the virtue for exploration. That is what we'll be looking at today. And much of the work, I will hand it on you. I will hand it on you as usual. And so that is why I will send you out now to breakout sessions, and you can see what I would like you to discuss on the screen. What I would like you to discuss on the screen. Yeah, so please, when you go to your group, discuss these questions. Appoint somebody, one of your group members, to come and tell us about your thoughts on these questions. All right. I will give you 25 minutes to. So when you come, don't spend more than one minute to tell us what you have. Don't spend more than 1 minute. Okay, so the groups are automatically formed. Take a picture of what is on the screen, and in 25 minutes, you come back and we will discuss. All right. See you later. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Yep. Yeah. Others are joining. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Those who are representing for the group, please raise up your hands so that I can see you. Group number 1, is it you, Neila Taha? Are you the one? If you are the one, please unmute and tell us what your group number 1 speak. And then Pat, Neila Taha, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, Professor. Hello, everyone.
Is that group 1?
What?
Go ahead. Speak. Let's hear you.
Actually, I have a connection problem. What is the question to answer?
Why are you raising your hand?
Why what?
All right, let's go to Pat, please. Tell us what your group has.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
And everyone, good afternoon. Okay, we try to define who a curious person is. And we came up with the following ideas. A curious person is someone who is eager to learn, someone who wants to know things, someone who is inquisitive and is always searching. We also said that a curious person is a risk taker. The person takes risks and is someone who questions the status quo. A curious person will not just accept things. He wants to know the reason why things are as they are. And curious people are usually pace setters because they want to know things before the others and will venture into domains that are new. in research, a curious person is someone who is actively seeking knowledge and understanding about a particular topic or field of study. They are motivated to explore new ideas, question existing knowledge, and uncover hidden insights. And in this research context, curiosity will always drive them towards development of new questions and new discoveries. And then we also said that a curious person is a communicator. He will always ask the question, what, why, when, how? And we gave an example as Marie Curie, who was curious about the properties of radioactivity and the structure of atoms. Some of the questions she asked were, what are the properties of radioactivity elements? How do atoms decay? And what are the implications of radioactivity for medicine and technology?
All right, I will stop you here, Pat. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so yes, we are done.
That is fantastic. Fantastic. All
Thank you,
right.
Prof.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go to my Abdul Rahman. My Abdul Rahman. Please unmute yourself and speak. Okay. My Abdul is not ready to unmute. Okay, let's go to Wamaka, please.
Okay, so thank you for the opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. For our group, for question number 1, are you a curious person? Yes, we answer that yes, all of us are curious people, and that is the basis for us to be here. We are always seeking for knowledge, which is one of the key aspects of curious people. They are always seeking for knowledge. So for questions number 2, and we made question number 2 and 3 for want of time, because they seem to be the same. How do you know that you are a curious person, and then what signs show that you're a curious person? So we answered that the key signs of curious people are they love knowledge. They are always eager to know things. They're always asking questions, because of their curiosity. They are problem solvers. They have this zeal to solve problems, no matter the type of problem it is. Then they are open, very open to, they will be asking questions 100%, even the question they may be asking, the person they may be asking that question may not even have the answer, but because of their curiosity, they are always asking. Then they're empathic. They are focused. They don't like distraction. When they are seeking for that knowledge, they are trying to avoid any distraction. They are self-motivated, and they have this positive mindset. Now, for question number 4, how does your curiosity virtue influence your career, your research career? We answered that we cultivate a growth mindset. By remaining focused, we are committed to search for knowledge, and then also avoidance of anything that will distract us when we are seeking for that knowledge. Then for question number 5, how do you sustain your curiosity? So we answered that to maintain our curiosity, we do that through observation, through experimentation, through our willingness to learn, rather than accepting the status quo, okay, as it was yesterday, so shall it be, that, that kind of stuff. So that is our submission for group number 1.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I have Halataha, please.
Okay. Good evening.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Okay. Taking the questions. For question 1, are you a curious person? Yes, we agreed that we are all curious persons. For the second question, how do you know that you are a curious person? From the field of study, you are interested in studying a special or specific issue or topic or title, problem, then you go through the, you do experiments and you do researching, and this will drive your curiosity. The main point here is asking question. Why is this continuous asking questions? Raising question, asking questions. This is the huge motivator for being curiosity. For the second question, what signs show that you are curious? When you got your academic grades, this might be a sign, academic grade. And the contribution you made to the scientific community. Any kind of contribution you made to the scientific community can be a sign showing that you are a curious person. For the first question, how does your current curiosity virtue influence your research and career by production, the products you achieve, thesis title, production that enhance the industrial community or the scientific community, publications, such things. Grace?
All right.
The last
Thank
question, excuse me, the last question.
Yeah, I will stop you here, Halataha. You have exceeded your time. Let me go back to my Abdul, please.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, for our group, I just want to highlight, because none of the other groups highlighted, that we were 7 in the group or 8 in the group, and only 3 or 4 were to participate. And when we ask if anyone is uncurious, no one said, or no one notified the group that they are not curious. So you wanted to highlight that. All of us were curious, the rest of us, I mean. Why we, or how do you know that, the second question, how do we know? Because we are wondering about things, we ask questions, how and why, greedy to know more about things or about certain topics. What are the signs? You'll be very excited about the topic, explore more about the topic, and you are willing to put more effort and more time to know about that particular topic. How does that affect career or research? You always want to do more. You want to get things done. You to dig more into your particular topics and or your particular research topics. So that's how you can do them.
Thank you. Thank you,
okay.
my Abdul. Let me stop you there. All right. Okay, so this is where we had our breakout sessions. So thank you all the groups. I think you have raised some fantastic issues, and actually the issues you have raised have really covered what I needed to present. But I will still speak. One thing that cut across all the groups is that curious people are eager to learn. They ask questions. They question the status quo. They are progressive. They're innovative. They want to change the narrative. And this is very important. And this is actually the way our world has come to be. And God himself, who made the world, wants men and women who live in the world to be curious, because it is through curiosity we discover. But one thing as a person I have come to see in our world, because all the groups have said we are all curious. But one thing I've come to discover is that our world, to a very large extent, is afraid of men and women who are curious. For instance, you're in the class, you have students who ask, there's some students who ask questions. I remember when I was at the high school, I loved maths. And so after class, I will follow my math teacher to his office and I'll be asking questions. So one day he said, Bright, you're asking too much questions. I'm here to give you 30%. The remaining 70% you will discover. All right. Well, that was his way of getting me off. But that was actually a beginning of exploration for me. So he said, 70% you have to learn. So, wow, so it's actually my duty. I went out there in search of the things that were bothering me. I read, I studied to discover. But what I have seen around, I don't know, you can comment there if that is true, is that in many of our institutions, in many of our departments, in many of our faculties, we are so much comfortable with the status quo. True or false? We are so much comfortable with the status quo. I often hear people say, that is not the way we do it. My goodness, that irritates me to my bones. That irritates me to my bones. That is not how it has been. We have our ways. That irritates me to my bones. And my question is, who set the ways? Can we evaluate the ways? Can we question the ways? Can we be critical? Can we derive something different? Can we make the ways even better? That is not the language of curious people. That is the language of people who come, they saw, and they were defeated. But curious people are those who came, who saw, and they conquered. They write their name in gold before they leave. So you are here. What I'm bringing to you this afternoon as a virtue, I call it curiosity, the virtue for exploration, is what is your mindset? How do you handle your classroom? Do you allow for those questions that will open chapters of exploration? Do you allow that? Or you shut it up and say, where you're asking too much questions, even in your own head as a researcher, do you open the bowels of your exploration? Because that is where it starts. I always tell my students and those who work up, there are some ideas I have that it's difficult to push them out because some of them will be afraid. Yeah, because I think I allow myself, I explore, I open up to explore the opportunities that our world offers us. What is your situation? You see, if you look at research contribution across the world, Africa is lagging behind. And who is Africa? You and I. You. Well, I'm in Europe anyway. So everything I produce is counted as from Europe. But what is your situation? What is your situation? Why do we produce very few? Why are we where we are today? Why are we not developing our continent the way it should be? Why are we always looking forward to the Western countries for solutions, even as little as baby food? Why? It's because we are not curious enough. Or the systems we have around us shut up that curiosity acumen we have. But I tell you, as scientists, without curiosity, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult to develop. It is a foundation. It's a foundation. It's a foundation. A researcher, you want to do great things? Well, curiosity is a virtue you must not play with. So I've showed this before. Nature of science, of what scientists do. It's tough. It's tough. But one of the things that make it easier is asking those questions. How? Why? What? They open opportunity for you to begin to at least deal with those tough issues. The path to consensus via science is really straight. It can take years to achieve, and the battles can be bloody. But eventually, the accumulation of evidence is hard, even impossible to ignore. And this evidence that is accumulated are tiny bits that are connected as a result of curiosity. Is that all to this story? Can we deal with it more? Can we approach it from this angle? What will we find if we take a different approach? Those are questions curiosity brings. Science never solves a problem without creating 10 more. Can you understand that? This fits into our next edition of tips and tricks. The next edition will be on ignorance as a product of science. Because many times we think that solution is a product of what we do, but actually we are in the factory of producing ignorance. And this factory of ignorance is a factory that employees are curiosities, different curiosities. And that is why you set out to make a finding, and you come out having different questions that live in different directions, because there is a curious mind. I used to talk about a friend of mine. He called me 2 weeks ago. And when he calls, he will laugh. He said, "Bright, have you finished the research?" You know, we joke about it. We laugh. And in a very low voice, I'll tell him, "Not yet." Not yet, because it is actually not yet. It's not yet. Because there are many things we're engaged in. We set out with one question. We come out with 10 questions. That is the mind of curious people. All right? About S-time. Science is a wonderful thing. If one does not have to earn one's living at it, if it only fills your stomach, then you have not started. But when you know there are things in your brain you need to push forward, that is where you're going. That is what makes you who you are. That is how you change your world. Then you know it is not about your stomach or your pocket. It's actually writing your name on God. Curiosity is derived from the Latin curiositas, careful, diligent, taking care. All right? A quality related to inquisitive thinking, such as exploration, investigation, and learning, evident in humans and animals. So the virtue of curiosity is not an issue of humans only, even animals. Some people have had experiments. The animals that go in the night, they have hidden cameras, and they can see how animals become curious about the environment, about the encounters they have. What about human beings that are rational? I'm talking to scientists, because where I want us to go is to be in a position to be the detectors of what happens in our society. To be those who set the agenda of how development happen in our society, because we have the key, we have the solution, we have the evidence because of our curious mind. And if we all will join that bus of curiosity, many things will become easier for us. Trust me. This is where it starts. I don't know if you were in this position. I remember when I was small like this, I actually annoyed my mom. She went out and I was in the village. And I saw these ants entering this hole. And I was looking at them carrying this food. I said, where are they even going underground? What are they doing there? And I started opening that ground. And the more I open it, the more it continues. Do you know what? This was just in front of the house. I didn't know when I had scattered the whole frontage because I wanted to know where these ants were taking these foods to. Goodness me. And by the time my mother came back, she met me there. What? What did you do? Look at the compound. What are you looking for? And all I could say was, the ants. Ants? Goodness me. Are you going to eat them or what? I received some beatings anyway. But it has not left my mind. Because I thought something was there. I thought there was a goat. I thought there was a room that is filled with sofas where this, with a television where these ants are watching. But that is the mind of curiosity. As you can see, these kids, what is there? You can write a lot of story of what is going on there in their minds. How? What? When? I don't know what your ambition is. Some of us have ambition. If I did my PhD, if I become a professor, then I will cool down. Curious people have no destination. They have no destination because they know there is a lot in the world to explore, and so they start. Look at those who are given the Nobel laureates in science. You see, some of them sit in their lab for 40 years, just a small lab they started. And that lab they started became a production machine for knowledge and inventions because they kept on asking those questions. Why? How? What? And as they ask, the world is opening in that little lab. What are you doing in your area, brothers and sisters, colleagues? What is your bus stop? There are great things you can do. You know that Africa is a virgin land in terms of research. But you need to be curious to get there. You need to be curious to get there. Curiosity is a driver for innovation, for never settling for status quo, for retaining a healthy level of organizational humility, for actively allowing divergent opinions to emerge. It also supports organizational learning through active openness to processes, like, for instance, after action reviews, especially a desire to learn from things that went south. Well, I don't have much time, but when I was doing my PhD, one of my research work contributed to a shift in the status quo. All right, I was working on the the impact of infant feeding on the development of allergies and asthma. As some of you know, asthma and allergies are my area. So I was looking at timing of infant feeding. I was looking at breastfeeding. Do they have impact on this? And of course, we know that breastfeeding has important health contributions. That we know. There's no argument. Okay? There are recommendations. But the question we were asking is, for prevention of allergies and asthma in children, does breastfeeding and timing of infant feeding play a role? We have a recommendation that is there, existing, on what mothers should eat, how they should eat, when they should eat things, when the child should be given certain foods. But we checked, where is the evidence? How did they come to this conclusion? So we set out. Some studies started coming out from the US, from the Netherlands, from Italy. And we were in Finland producing our own. And people were like, no, because what we were finding was opposite of what was in the recommendation. People were, no, how this? But I tell you, the voices, you need to be bold when you're a curious person. And I tell you, it wasn't long. An interim recommendation came that led to modification in the recommendations that were there. Because you are curious, you ask questions, and that can actually save lives. This is a great man, you know. He played his role, and many of us are so much enjoying it today. You talk about iPhone 15 Pro Max, and people are saying, "I have it." You are so proud to have it. But do you know the factory where it was produced? The factory was the brain of a man who asked questions, and he said, "Much of what I stumbled." Look at the word he used. I stumbled because curious people stumble. It is through stumbling. This greatness that comes from innovation is not based on what you have sat in your kitchen or your room, you plan, I'm going to do this. You stumble onto it. Think about all great men. They stumble onto the things that make them great. Much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and institution turned out to be priceless. Turned out to be priceless. What is your curious research mind? Sit down and ask those questions. But why is this? When is that? How is this? How is that? Ask those questions. Don't say, well, we have done. No. I had an encounter recently, but I don't want to go into that. And I was so disappointed. And that made me to say, Africa, we have a long way to go. Don't kill light. Don't kill innovation. Don't kill curiosity. Allow it to blossom, for it will make our lives beautiful. Somebody was talking about Jobs. He said, I watched a wonderful documentary, Steve Jobs, One Last Thing. And what struck me as the overarching secret to his success was his voracious curiosity. Job wasn't curious about things that would make him successful. He was successful because he was so curious. Yes. Arnold, curiosity is the very basis of education. And if you tell me that curiosity killed the cat, I say only the cat died nobly, because curiosity educates you. The digital camera story. I've used this example over and over again. I love it. So today, your mother here in the village can take a picture and send to you. She can even take a selfie. Where the story starts? Curiosity. The digital camera is a story of curiosity. And look at where it started. You know, if he's invited to an event to cover it, you know how long it will take him? He will be sweating by the time he finish. He'll be sweating. He'll be sweating. All right. But today, where are we? He moved. There are much criticism he has received, but he moved to this and today. In fact, many pens, especially those who are used by the security officers, many pens can have cameras. And from 1970s, 80s, look at what he has brought to him. Curiosity. Curiosity. Yeah, we have what is called curiosity-driven research. Curiosity-driven research. Of course, this can be interpreted in different ways in different settings, but it connotes the fact of boundaryless opportunities to discover. All right? You can be confined and you're happy with that. Well, what do you want me to do? What next? I like to be guided, but you need to have the mind to be outside, to explore. There are many things to see. There are many ways to go. As they say, there are 1,000 ways to kill a rat. And many of us confine ourselves because you want to be baby fed. We want to be given the recipes, instructions, do this, do that. My group, somebody came into my group, but the person didn't last in my group because I don't give prescription, do this, do that, do that, do that. I try to bring the innovative aspect of your life so that you can then open your space and explore. So if you're the type that you want to be confined, honestly, our world does not work in that way anymore. Curiosity-driven research. You need to inculcate this attitude to what you do as a researcher. All right, that's all I have for you today. Our next one is ignorance. I mentioned the outcome that beautifies research, 31st of May. So please endeavor to join us again. And our next science seminar series comes on Sunday after tomorrow, and the one after that coming in May is making innovation research work, the stakeholders and their roles. On Sunday, we are talking about pitfalls, how to navigate pitfalls in innovation. So please don't forget to join us. Register. I know that my colleagues have been posting the link on the chat box. So please register and join us. And then we have the making sense of data, the ASFI signature data analysis course coming up in July. Application is open, so please make use of that opportunity as well. If you have not registered as SFA member, the floor is still open. All right. I guess no question. Or if there is any thoughts, wow, my time is gone. Okay, colleagues, thank you very much for coming today, and I wish you a very wonderful weekend, and let's see you again on Sunday. Yeah, the mic is unmuted now. You can unmute yourself and say hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Prof.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Weekend.
Thank you very
Yo.
much. Valuable lecture. Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you very much.
And thank you.
Thank you for all.
Thank you. Thank you.